This is it. We're just over a half hour away from the start of the trial against the man accused of killing the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. I'm Vinny Politan. We're live in Los Angeles. What is seen outside the courthouse as anticipation begins for opening statements in this case? You've got supporters for Michael Jackson. You've actually got supporters for Dr. Conrad Murray, the man accused of killing Michael Jackson. Ted Rollins from CNN joins us from outside the courthouse. Ted, you have covered your share of high-profile cases. In the beginning of a trial, I've never seen anything like this on day one.
Yeah, this rivals the molestation trial that Jackson endured up in Santa Maria, where fans from around the world came to get a glimpse at Michael Jackson. But clearly, you look around here, it's pretty amazing. You've got, as you said, supporters from both sides and the media from around the world. There are cameras everywhere. In fact, we're sort of packed in on two sides of an alleyway that goes into the center of the courthouse, and you can see it's jam-packed with cameras. Then across the street, there are cameras that couldn't get into this area. They're all positioned across the street with a shot of the courthouse. And then you've got all the media already inside the courtroom getting ready to document what happens in the courtroom. And of course, that will be televised as well. So yeah, you're right. This is about as big as it gets in terms of worldwide coverage and interest. We'll see how it pans out over the next few weeks. But you see the evidence right here. A lot of people interested.
Yeah, Ted, over your shoulder, that area, is that the entranceway to the courthouse, and is that where the Jackson family will walk in?
Yeah, in fact, yeah, this is the main entrance. We just saw the defense team, or at least a portion of it. Mr. Flanagan and Narek Gorgian just came in with some exhibits about 15 minutes ago. And then we're told the Jackson family will be coming this way in the next 15 minutes or so. They're going to give us a little bit of a warning before the Jacksons come, and they'll clear out this area. They also did warn all the cameras, if anybody clogs this area, we'll make sure the Jackson family enters the courthouse for the rest of the trial underneath, so you won't get to see them. But right now the plan is to allow the Jacksons to come in this way, so we should be seeing that in just a few minutes. Each side gets 6 spots in the courthouse, in the courtroom. The prosecution and the defense has 6 seats reserved for them, so it'll be interesting to see which 6 fill the side for the prosecution.
All right, Ted Rollins right in front of the courthouse. Also out there is our own Jane Velez Mitchell, host of Issues. Jane, what's happening right now? I mean, it's the build-up, the anticipation, and what do you think is going to happen when the Jackson family arrives this morning?
Peaceful here. There is an energy,
building up the anticipation, but what I think is really fascinating about this, Vinny, is that I would say fans of Dr. Murray and fans of Michael Jackson are equally divided here. And remember, the defense was very worried, lack of the jurors being sequestered, that all of this hullabaloo out here might influence the jury against them. Now, we do have a lot of people here with Justice for Jackson signs, and we're going to very slowly turn around to show you what's happening here so we don't lose our signal. But over here, the courthouse is right there. You have a whole contingent of pro-Dr. Murray supporters. And I want to bring in one of them, Stacy. You came all the way from San Diego, and let me see your sign. It says, Dr. Conrad Murray, my mentor, my friend, my brother, my strength. You know Dr. Murray very well. You are what to him?
I'm his administrative assistant.
So you work for Dr. Murray?
Yes, absolutely.
And you decided to come down here, why?
To support him. Currently, I'm not allowed in the courtroom for other reasons.
What other reasons?
I'm on the witness list.
Oh.
So,
Oops. Oops.
Okay. So they won't let me in the courtroom to show my support. So here I am. I stand here to show my support to Dr. Murray.
Now, did he ask you to do this? You work for him.
No.
Are you kind of trying to win points with your boss?
Absolutely not. I don't have to.
Well, why? Why do you feel that he deserves your defense?
We've been together for 16 years. I believe in him wholeheartedly. He is not a man that could harm another human being. That is not what his soul is about. That's not what he's about. And he's very much like Michael Jackson in the way that he wanted world peace. He wants love and understanding.
Let me jump in here. You see there's people who say he's a monster right behind you. There's all these Michael Jackson supporters. What do you say to them? Because they're saying that Dr. Murray deviated in a gross and extreme manner from standard medical care.
Well, I believe that everybody deserves the right to demonstrate, the Michael Jackson's fans and Conrad Murray's supporters. I'm a Michael Jackson fan. Dr. Murray's a Michael Jackson fan. I mean, I fail to believe that you can find very many people who are not Michael Jackson fans.
Well, that's true. Half the jurors that were selected say that they are at one time Michael Jackson fans. So one of these fans wants to know, why are you supporting if you're a fan of Michael Jackson?
Because I know him personally.
Dr. Conrad
Murray personally, and I know the truth.
And what is the truth?
Okay, now this lady wants to come in and do an interview. So you're actually a Michael Jackson fan, and we've talked to you a second ago, but she's making a good point. Let it be decided inside court.
There's too many things that indicate that he's guilty. The fact that there was no resuscitation, nothing to resuscitate him with, no monitoring equipment. It's like going on a general anesthesia and having your anesthetist go, I'm going to lunch.
Let me just say this. These are the kinds of debates going on out here. And I think that's what's sort of great about America. Everybody's worried about the jury being sequestered, but you have both sides represented out here. There are people who are debating it, and in a way, it's kind of like a soapbox on the street corner, a grand American tradition, and people are discussing. So I find it, even though people are very afraid of what's happening here with the public, that the public isn't so dangerous after all. They're having a relatively civilized discussion, pro and con, and that's the situation out here. I'm going to toss it back to you, Vinny.
Thanks so much, Jane. Amazing. Outside the courthouse, folks, you've got one of the potential witnesses debating the case with a Michael Jackson supporter, our own Jane Velez Mitchell, in the middle of the whole thing. Let's go inside the courthouse now. Alan Duke, I know, has to go into the courtroom in a few moments to get his seat inside that courtroom to be our eyes and ears on everything that the cameras can't show. Alan, what do you expect this morning, opening statements?
Well, they're going to take about an hour each. We're going to have David Walgren for the prosecution. He's a well-respected prosecutor, with a deputy district attorney in Los Angeles. A very impressive man, I think I've seen in the hearings up to this point. And then you'll have Ed Chernoff, the lead defense lawyer for Conrad Murray, delivering the opening statements for Murray, and that will also take about an hour. I'm not sure if Walgren will exercise his opportunity to do a rebuttal after Chernoff, but then we'll probably have the lunch break, and we'll hear from Kenny Ortega, who is the concert producer for Michael Jackson's This Is It. He has a long history with Michael Jackson, knew him well. He was the lead witness also at the preliminary hearing. He will tell some very personal things about his days with Michael Jackson, the final days of the pop icon.
All right, Alan Duke live inside the courthouse where opening statements will take place in just over 20 minutes. Alan, thank you so much. Oh, my goodness, folks, what a scene outside the courthouse in Los Angeles today. They haven't had one like this in quite some time, probably since the 90s. We'll be on it right here on HLN, gavel-to-gavel coverage of the trial of the man accused of killing Michael Jackson.